Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and loving the different grammar concepts that we are learning. So बच्चों, क्या आप घर पे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो कि नहीं? चलो, अब हम देखते हैं एक नया concept of grammar which is called modals. So, what are modals? Hello kids. Modals are a special group of verbs used to express ability, permission, suggestion, पॉसिबिलिटी और इंटेंशन. ओके, तो जैसे वर्ड्स होते हैं ना, कैन, कुड, मे, माइट, विल, वुड, शाल, शुड, मस्ट, ought, need. These are all called modal verbs or modals. Okay, so modal verbs, unlike ordinary verbs, have only one form. उनका एक ही फॉर्म होता है. ओके, उनके कोई भी एंडिंग्स नहीं होते. दे नेवर हैव एंडिंग्स लाइक एस और आईएनजी या ईडी. ऐसे एंडिंग्स नहीं होते. जब आप देखोगे, जब हम बोलते हैं कैन, तो कैन के आगे हम लोग कभी भी ईडी नहीं लगाते या एस नहीं लगाते या आईएनजी नहीं लगाते. राइट? तो ये वर्ब्स जैसा फॉर्म है उसी फॉर्म में उन्हें यूज किया जाता है. ओके, they do not change their form according to the person or number of the subject. We always use the base form of the verb after modal verbs. Modals can never be used alone or without a verb. For example, I can sing. He can sing. They can sing. You can sing. तो ये कभी भी अकेले यूज नहीं होते. जैसे अगर हम बोलेंगे कैन, तो कैन का मतलब क्या हुआ? कुछ भी मतलब नहीं होता. कैन, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट अ डिफरेंट कैन, जो कैन होता है ना जूस का, वो अलग होता है. बट कैन अकेले यहाँ पे, ओके, इन अ सेंटेंस वी कैन नॉट यूज इट. ओके, सो यू नीड अ वर्ब अलोंग विद दैट. ओके, सो आई कैन सिंग, he can sing, they can sing, you can sing. The modal verb ought is an exception. Okay, we use ought with the to infinitive. For example, you ought to stay inside. तो जब भी ought word होगा, okay, तो ought के बाद आएगा to. Clear? वो सिर्फ ought करके use नहीं होता है. चलो, आप देखते हैं अलग अलग modal verbs के uses. Alright? चलो, first one, can, could. Can is often used to talk about ability, to ask for permission or to make a request in the present. तो प्रेजेंट टेंस में जब हम अपनी एबिलिटी दिखाने के लिए या परमिशन लेने के लिए या रिक्वेस्ट के लिए यूज करते हैं कैन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ही कैन ड्राइव अ कार. सो दिस इज एन एबिलिटी कि वो गाड़ी चला सकता है. ही इज एबल टू ड्राइव अ कार. यू कैन और मे यूज माई पेन. सो यू आर गिविंग अ परमिशन हियर. Can or may I take your book? You're asking for permission. एक होता है you giving a permission, दूसरा होता है asking for permission. Okay? Could is used for ability or permission or request in the past. तो जब present होता है तब can होता है, past होता है तब could होता है. For example, the man could run fast when he was a boy. एबिलिटी इन द पास्ट, कि वो जब छोटा बच्चा था या बॉय था तब वो भाग सकता था तेज. ऑलराइट? कुड आई यूज योर मोबाइल फोन? सो आस्क फॉर परमिशन. ओके, कुड आई हैव अ कप ऑफ टी? रिक्वेस्ट. नाउ कुड इज मोर पोलाइट दैन कैन इन मेकिंग रिक्वेस्ट. ओके, जब आप इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग द वर्ड कैन, व्हेन यू से कुड आई, it sounds more polite. Okay, so when you are talking and want to ask a permission, try to use this word could and see the difference. It will sound very polite and very pleasing to the ears. Okay, can में क्या होता है ना, can में आप थोड़े harsh sound करते हो. इसकी वजह से could is always a better alternative while asking a permission. Okay, or requesting for something. All right, now let's look at may and might. May and might are used to talk about possibility in the present or future. Might expresses a smaller degree of possibility than may. For example, he may or might be at home now. So possibility है. Okay, कि वो शायद अभी इस टाइम घर पे होगा. Okay, may I go home now? Now you're asking for a permission. May I go home now? Okay, it might drizzle in the evening, though the sky is clear at this time. So this is like a possibility in the future that it might rain in the evening. Alright, might is the past tense of may. May का past tense होता है might. It can be used to express excessive politeness while seeking permission or making a request. For example, might I come in, sir? Ask for permission. Here you are asking for a permission by using the word might. So, might I go out for a minute? It's a request. So, if you see this word of might, okay, this word might, which is a past tense of may, this sounds more like an excessive politeness, okay. In formal English, may is used to express a wish or blessing. For example, may you get success in life. That's like a wish. May God bless you with a child. That's like a blessing. So जब हम कुछ wish करते हैं या किसी को blessing देते हैं तो हम may use करते हैं. Like when your grandparents and all wish you on your happy birthday, after that they say may God bless you. So it's like it's an expression of wish or of a blessing also. Okay. Could and might refer to past time as shown in the following sentences. I asked whether I could sit there. He said that I might use his phone. Next is will or would. Will is used to talk about the future or an offer. For example, I will always remember you. My mother will be 40 tomorrow. I will give you a lift to the bus station. That's like an offer. I will give you a lift to the bus station. हम बोलते हैं ना, आप कभी कभी आपके पापा को या मम्मी को सुनते होगे बोलते वक्त, अगर वो अपनी कार में जा रहे हैं और किसी को कहीं जाना है तो वो ऑफर देते हैं ना, that I will give you a lift to the bus station. पूछते हैं ना, yes, that's like an offer. Will you have some more juice? यहाँ पे हम पूछ रहे, we are offering. Okay, or we are inviting a person कि do you want to have some more juice? Will you have some more juice? पूछते हैं ना हम लोग. When we are telling them about a second helping, will you have more? पूछते हैं ना. So that is like a asking. Okay, you are asking, we are using it to talk about the future or we are giving an offer. Clear? चलो. Now would is the past form of will. Will का past form होता है would and it is more polite than will. जैसे could is more polite than can, वैसे ही would is more polite than will. Okay, we can use will you or would you to ask people to do something. For example, will you like to pass me the salt? Or would you do me a favor? So we often use will you like or would you like in offers and invitations. Offers और invitations में हम लोग will you like या would you like का इस्तेमाल ज़्यादा करते हैं. For example, will you like to have some more grapes? Would you like to have an ice cream? Would you like to come for a picnic? Okay? So देखा अलग अलग तरीके यूज़ करने के. So बच्चों अपने vocabulary में जब आप इंग्लिश में बात करते हो किसी के साथ, okay, at that time don't forget to use these words. These are like magical words. These modals make a lot of difference in the way you ask something or you offer something or you express something. Alright children? चलो अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's look at shall and should. Shall can be used instead of will with I and we in statements about the future. So future के statements के लिए shall या should use होता है. Will is more common than shall. Okay, for example, I shall be pleased to help you. So we also use shall I to offer to do something for someone. Okay, अगर हमें किसी के लिए कुछ करना है तो भी हम shall I use करते हैं. Okay, shall I call you a taxi? Shall I post the letters for you? तो हम किसी की हेल्प करने के लिए भी shall I वर्ड यूज़ कर सकते हैं. Alright, we also use shall I or shall we in offers, suggestions and request for advice. Shall I shut the window? It's like an offer. Okay. Shall we record this program? It's like a suggestion. Okay. कि क्या हम इस program को record कर लें? So that's like a suggestion. Okay. Which umbrella shall I buy? So you are asking for advice. आप किसी को पूछ रहे हो, उनका advice पूछ रहे हो कि इसमें से कौन सी umbrella मैं buy करूँ. Okay. Now should. Should is used to talk about obligation or to give advice. For example, we should obey the laws. So it's like an obligation कि हमें laws follow करने चाहिए. Okay. You should work harder. So यहाँ पे हम लोग advice दे रहे that you should work harder. Okay. Should is also used to guess or say that something is probable. For example, she should be at home now. He should be over 50. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग कुछ probability भी दिखा रहे. Okay, we are trying to find something that is probable or we are just taking a guess. Okay. Now next type is must. ये भी हम लोग use करते हैं. Okay. Must is used to talk about necessity or obligation. Okay. तो यहाँ पे भी must भी हम एक obligation की तरह use करते हैं या फिर something that is required to be done. Okay. like a necessity, करना ज़रूरी है, उसके लिए भी हम must use करते हैं. For example, we must be honest. You must give up smoking. I must get up at 5 o'clock. Okay, so must refers to the present or the near future. Clear? चलो, अभी to talk about the past, we use had to. The past form of verb have to. Have to का हम past form use करते हैं had to. Must has no past form. Okay, तो must का कोई भी past form नहीं होता है. For example, I had to get up at 5 o'clock yesterday. Okay, तो ये हो गया past form. Have to का past form. But must का past form नहीं होता. Alright? Must is normally used when the obligation comes from the speaker. जब speaker से obligation आती है तब हम must use करते हैं. जैसे have to is preferred when the obligation comes from outside the speaker. Okay? For example, I must be on my guard. So it is my own idea. मेरी खुद की idea है कि मैं I must be on guard. Okay? Second is I have to be on a diet. The doctor says this. You must be home by 10 o'clock. So I insist, okay, that you must be home by 10 o'clock. I have to be home by 10 o'clock. My parents insist. Okay. So now, next modal is need. Okay. We use need to say that something is necessary. कोई चीज़ ज़रूरी है तब हम बोलते हैं need. We use the word need. Okay. We use need not or needn't or don't have to say that something is not necessary. For example, you needn't or don't have to meet him. So that means कि उसको मिलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So it is not necessary for you to meet him. Ought. Let's look at the word ought. Ought is used like must to talk about obligation or necessity. Ought is not as strong as must. Must जो होता है वो ज़्यादा strong होता है than ought. Okay, example. चलो ought का example देखते हैं. आपको याद है ना ought के साथ क्या add होता है? To. जब भी आप ought word use करोगे तो उसके साथ आएगा, उसके साथ after ought will the word to follow. Okay, we ought to be honest. You ought to help your parents. Okay, you ought to help your parents. We also use ought to say that something is probable. Okay, he ought to be at the office now. मतलब he should be is like हम लोग ज़्यादा करके should be use करते हैं, but यहाँ पे हम लोग बोल रहे he ought to be at the office now. मतलब should be is more usual. तो अगर आप notice करोगे तो ought and should they have similar meanings, but we usually prefer should to ought. Okay, जब हम normal vocabulary में ज़्यादा करके हम लोग should use करते हैं instead of ought. Alright, chalo, let's get smarter. And to be smart, what do? We do the exercises. So complete the following sentences with suitable modals choosing from the box. You can use one modal verb more than once. तो अब आपके पास कुछ modal verbs है, उनको आपको use करना है in the sentences. Okay? 1. She dash gets success if she works hard. She might get success if she works hard. Okay? Or she can get success if she works hard. Okay, now second one. I was afraid that if I asked her again, she dash refuse. She could refuse. You're trying to be a little more polite here. Alright? चलो ऐसे ही एक एक sentence पढ़ो with the gap and then use the appropriate verb in the gap. Chalo. Now let's move ahead with the next exercise. Fill in the blanks with the suitable modals choosing from the box. You can use one modal verb more than once. Will, would, shall, should. Okay? I dash be very unhappy even in paradise without you. Okay? I shall be very unhappy even in paradise without you. Okay? He dash not have considered me as his friend. He would have not considered me as his friend. Okay? आप ऐसे ही एक एक वर्ड को एनालाइज करो और राइट वर्ब को वहाँ पे फिल कर दो. Alright, चलो let's move to the next one. Fill in the blanks with ought to or have to or has to as it seems suitable. He dash work hard for a living. Okay, यहाँ पे हम word use कर सकते हैं. He has to work hard for a living. Okay, he dash be ashamed of himself. He ought to be ashamed of himself. Clear? चलो अब ऐसे ही अगले वाले जो भी sentences हैं, you have to complete them by yourself. So quickly children, and don't forget to read the chapter before you start attempting the exercises.